President Trump back in the U.S. and speaking about the Russia-Ukraine war after paying his respects to the late pontiff. NewsNation's Libbey Dean standing by at the White House tonight with a closer look at the administration's efforts to stop the war. Libbey, what are we learning?
Natasha, for the first time since this Saturday sit-down with Ukrainian President Zelensky, we've heard from President Trump tonight on the tarmac headed back here to the White House. Now he is back here, but the president is describing the meeting and laying out his growing frustration with President Putin. Let's listen to what he had to say.
I think the meeting went well. We'll see what happens over the next few days. We'll probably learn a lot. I was very disappointed that missiles were flying by Russia, but that missiles were flying. Very disappointing. We'll see how it goes.
President Trump upping his criticism of Putin, questioning if he's committed to ending the war in that post on Truth Social on your screen. And that was really a through point during these remarks from President Trump as well. Trump saying over 3 times that he is disappointed with Putin.
Well, I want him to stop shooting, sit down and sign a deal. And we have the confines of a deal, I believe. And I want him to sign it and be done with it and just go back to life.
The growing frustration from the president comes after his special envoy, Steve Witkoff, and President Putin met for the second time on Friday. You're seeing that meeting on your screen there. And then we've got now this latest development on the war front. For the first time, North Korea has confirmed that it will be sending troops to Russia to support its war on Ukraine. That's certainly a development to watch. But ahead of that announcement that North Korea will be aiding Russia, Russia's foreign minister had this to say this morning.
The President of the United States believes, and I think rightly so, that we are moving in the right direction. The statement by the President mentions a deal, and we are ready to reach a deal, but there are still some specific points, elements of this deal which need to be fine-tuned.
Fine-tuned, you heard the Russian foreign minister there. Now, Trump's Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, saying Sunday the U.S. is close to a deal but can't keep committing resources to brokering this deal. Let's listen to what Rubio had to say.
Those last couple steps of this journey were always going to be the hardest ones, and it needs to happen soon. We cannot continue, as I said, to dedicate time and resources to this effort if it's not going to come to fruition.
President Trump kicking off his weekend saying that Russia and Ukraine are close to a deal. That's how he kicked off this weekend. You just heard everything he had to say in these recent growing tensions with Putin, though, seeming to suggest otherwise when it comes to a deal on the horizon, Natasha.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.